That's pure gaping. Do what the fuck you want.
Do you want to start?
Right, episode. Do you remember?
41.
No, it's not 41. We're on 50 now.
Are we?
This is 50. This is
Christ.
51. We had Fintona native Mark McCarney in with us. Absolutely fantastic to have Mark from the big city of Fintona. What do you think of the episode?
Brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed Mark's stories and his wee origin story and the donkey he had in his school.
It wasn't a donkey.
It was.
It was a goat.
Was it a fucking goat?
It's a fucking goat.
Was it a goat?
You're a fucking idiot. I'm not doing this podcast for you anymore. You're showing us up. Anyway,
Can we do this again?
No, we're not. We're keeping it. Now everybody can see what I'm dealing with.
It is what it is, lad.
You're a good lad. You're a good lad anyway. Thank you everybody for watching the podcast so far. Mark was a great guest there. Really enjoyed. Definitely a bit of a roller coaster ride there.
That was
with him.
fun. It's good fun.
First memory, Jesus, where do you see that as a shocking first memory? Scary, very scary.
A lot of this.
It was into his soul. It was into Mark's soul, and yeah, I had a really, really good time, and I hope everybody enjoys it. Make sure to call down to the
Flax.
The Flax in Magherafelt.
Didn't have a Guinness tonight,
Is this
did you?
King Street? No, I didn't get any Guinness. I got it.
Good shit, though.
Good shit. They have really good Guinness. Out the back, they have the Guinness Cave. Lovely wee area. Up here, the good room. Functions, hens, stags, whatever you want, podcasts, wee events. We're actually thinking of doing a few wee events here this year. Saying nothing. Don't be telling anybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hope you really enjoy that episode. Call down to Flax sometime.
Yeah, the Flax is great.
And you're happy enough?
Well, yeah, it's done now.
Well, let's cue the bore on. Mark, welcome
That's me.
to Magherafelt.
Now we've nothing to talk about. Everyone's just
for
went
4
quiet.
hours catching up.
No, thank you very much for coming, Mark. For coming on
Pleasure.
the podcast. Fintona, how far away is that?
Just over an hour.
See that, guys?
Jesus, that's
An
commitment.
hour.
Yeah.
We've travelled fucking guests.
45 minutes for me.
No, it's an hour. Have you ever heard of the podcast?
Oh, have you? Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the podcast?
Yes.
Fuck.
I was listening to Keys' one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What
What'd
do
you
you think?
Something about the moon.
I actually think we creeped him out a wee bit. We creeped him out.
Fuck, you must have been going deep.
I know.
Creeped that one out.
Do you know what it was? It was kind of like, it was like interrogation. So
Yeah.
I do a wee bit of the edit at the end, just listening to it. And I was like, fuck, Casey thinks we're going to fucking like try him on something here.
You thought it was a sting?
Because I was like bringing up videos of like Epstein's Island and Bill Gates saying he didn't do it and Jane Dando's murder and
Then a photo of him beside the beach. And what were you doing there?
and I was just like, what do you think of that, Keys? And he was just like, what do you mean?
There was no context though to what you were doing.
No, I just brought up fucking random.
Here, look at this video.
That is happening tonight.
Is it?
Oh, so I do
But
that all the time.
They're going to be less aggressive than the ones I gave Connor. Like,
Oh, work away.
because I was ready to hit him with some conspiracy theories, like, and I don't think he was keen. But it was good crack. It was. So, Mark, this podcast and some of our viewers and listeners will know is basically we do a bit of a quick fire. And that eases you in, it softens you up a wee bit to
Lubes the whole thing up.
to us, I suppose,
No worries.
and gets you, telling us the real stuff that we want to know. So quick fire, and then there's a wee bit of a community update that we do. I have that ready.
Oh no.
And then we just go into the origin story, and
Lovely.
then we go through a wee bit of you, and then I'll have a few wee videos littered throughout this as well, just from over. They're nothing too crazy. But I'll pop them in here and there whenever we get.
This is an actual production then, boys?
Well,
Most of us just rock up and hit record and just talk shite for an hour.
That's what I do.
do you know? I just think about this for a few days.
Good man,
and
fair
then
play to
an
you.
hour before, just fuck it down. And make
Hard
sure-
work's in short supply nowadays. Fair play, yeah.
So, there's also music that we add in after, and I go cue the music. There we go. So that's the.
Is it
quick fire.
live or?
No.
You wouldn't mind pushing the microphone a wee bit further away from you there, just
Further away.
away.
Way too
Just-
fucking.
Just
Sorry, lad.
just getting
Just
that
there?
blood.
Is that enough?
That's good there.
You're peeking.
So I'm repeating on myself.
He's a habit of doing that, so he does.
So we were actually doing the audio one before. So I used to go cue the music and I used to fire it in after. We haven't got them set up on the roadcaster yet, but we will.
Oh yes.
But I still like popping them in myself. It's good fun because I have to actually make it as well.
Oh, you make the music yourself?
I just figure out sounds online and just strip them together. That's how our theme tune was made. And then, do you know what's a good thing? You might use it sometime. Is we do one where we fired into an AI speech. So I have Magherafelt Route takers. So that's actually, I go, Fergal, St. Pius' ex-college to Dawson's restaurant.
Right.
And he has to give me the quickest route through the town. But whenever I go cue the music, it uses an Irish woman's voice called Bridge. And she goes, the Magherafelt Route. No, what is it? It goes, you guessed it, it's the Magherafelt Route takers. And it's in like a very broad Irish voice. You can pick all these different voices.
It's got to be mental. Like.
It's class. It's
Soon we'll be like about here podcasting via holograms or something.
Yeah. You said, but stop it, just appearing on the table.
Yeah.
Anyway, quick fire. Beans or mushrooms?
Oh, fuck. That's like picking your child, eh?
I know. He thought that was a very difficult question.
I'll say mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Actually, do you know how many people hate mushrooms?
I know it is.
Fuckers, like.
I have a friend there who's like a farmer, and like he wouldn't
Do
touch.
you find that really strange? I find mushrooms are lovely.
Yeah, I like mushrooms too. No?
Same.
Very strange. Toast or bagel?
Toast.
Toast. Eggs or beans?
Depends on the eggs.
What way
how do you
would
like your
have
eggs?
I'm very funny with eggs now. I'll take it and I'll love it for a while, and then I'll get a bad one someday. And I'm like, I'm not eating that for another 2 months.
What's your favourite type of egg?
Hard boiled.
I thought you were going to say Easter.
What other way can you get?
I was waiting for Easter. Black or white? No, sorry, black
Jesus.
pudding or white pudding?
What kind of podcast is it?
Black pudding or white pudding?
Watch this video next.
What have you seen, boys?
Sorry, black pudding or white pudding?
I'll say black.
Yeah.
Black pudding.
I
Grand.
very rarely have white pudding.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest.
No,
I wouldn't touch them both. Potato bread or soda bread?
Oh, soda.
Damn it.
Ooh.
It's thick.
That's not fucking working out for me. I genuinely think it's potato bread. I know it's your opinion, but guests have been coming on, and that's probably one of the most challenging questions that I've found, that they're saying soda, and I genuinely think they're wrong. I do think the potato is the nicer.
Well, I'll say potato. Though.
They're
No,
both
sorry.
nice. Like.
I'll
Thank
go with you.
Thank you. Death row meal.
Hey?
Death row meal.
Or I said death throw. After pile drive you through a table. What do you like it?
What we usually do, we actually do a Magherafelt mega menu. So people pick their stuff from all over the town, and it has to be, they bring it together to make a meal. But for anybody outside Magherafelt, we usually say death row meal. And for a death row meal, it's the last meal you could ever have. And what would you request? You know, is that Green Mile sort of shit? Like, what's your final meal before the electric chair?
Are we going starter, main course?
Starter, main course, and dessert.
Do most people go for like a big spread?
You can do. You can do.
Yeah, they fucking do their best. Like, you know, it's the last meal.
So I think if you had any manners, then you'd eat late.
Just to
Because
stop.
somebody has to clean up, and you have full stomach, on you.
Unless you want to
very
be,
kind of
unless you want to be a hateful her, like,
If you had any manners, it'd be a couple of digestive
Steaming.
biscuits and a cup of tea. Like.
steaming pile of meat just
Give me a vindaloo.
I'm not very
please.
adventurous with food now. I like it plain. Hard to beat a 12-inch.
12-inch. What sort of 12
Your
inch?
last day on earth, 12-inch, whatever you want.
While you wait, what sort of 12-inch?
Pizza.
Pizza, right?
Aye,
Okay.
be special.
Lovely. What's on it?
Usually ham, pepperoni, mushroom, peppers,
Oh.
maybe a bit of sweet corn if I'm feeling jazzy.
What about a dip?
It's not a dip. I would rarely ever think of ordering a dip.
Really?
I'd never, unless it was like Domino's. Because I see the hole in the box and I go, what the fuck? Oh, that's. But usually I wouldn't.
No.
But if it was, it'd be the sour cream.
Sour cream? I'd probably go with garlic mayo.
Yeah,
I think it's
it's
very
a goat.
hard.
Where's your local pizza place? What's the best pizza place you've
There's a
ever
place. You know, I genuinely don't know the name of it. Or do? It's Pizza Mac.
Pizza
Right.
Man.
But we call it the A5 Pizza Place because it's on the A5 road.
Shout out to the A5.
Yeah, and it's in the middle of a busy road. Just it's not even near a town.
It's nearly dangerous to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always loved it, but there's other places that's nice now. Giuseppe's in Omag's nice.
I've heard that.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds very authentic.
And there's 9th Avenue. There's an Omagh and in a Skilling.
Right.
Yeah.
They're nice as well.
Very nice.
I wouldn't care if it's on the floor. Did it like
What about
I'm
starter?
the same.
for a pizza?
Doesn't need to be pizza. This is your final meal. Like it
No,
doesn't-
I'm not very fancy like that. No.
Dessert?
Depends if it was now to be something maybe like a
It's up to you.
sticky toffee pudding or something or fudge. maybe,
Ice
but-
cream or cream? Fresh cream?
Oh, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Not a big fresh cream guy.
Custard
no.
man, no?
If there's a tart with her.
Yeah. I can see that. That's an apple or a wee crumble. Crumbles are lethal.
Yeah.
Very good, Death Row me. Favourite island? River Island, Epstein's Island, or Lusty Beg Island?
Fuck, that's tight choice that. now.
River Island's a clothing brand, by the way. It's not. There's not. I actually don't know River Island.
It's.
So River Island, Epstein's Island, or Lusty Beg Island?
Find it hard to get close to fit me in River Island.
I'll have to say lusty now. I'll have to represent. If you're pulling me arm, I'll have to say lusty.
Lusty Beg. That's where you had the event, wasn't it?
That's right,
Festival.
Yeah.
What did you call that?
I just called it the Comedy Carnival,
Yes.
but everyone was like, "Why didn't you call it the McCarnival?"
Yes.
But I was like, "That's a wee bit too on the nose."
I
That
remember seeing it. I thought it was,
I've never had a definitive name for it. I probably should right enough, but
You're gonna go back again?
hopefully there's nothing planned yet. But
Very good.
hopefully this year we'll
It's a
do
good wee
this again.
spot. What 3 people would you invite to your ultimate dinner party?
Oh Jesus Christ! Nobody. Just done at my own pace.
Just sick of hers.
Yes.
Left row
Living
meal
or
by
dead?
yourself. What?
Living or dead?
Either or. It's fine.
I think Billy Connolly'd need to do one.
Yes, that'd be great.
Still alive. Stay with us, Billy.
I think you'd have a good chat with Heaney.
Seamus?
Aye.
I think so.
No, his brother Declan.
What's he? What's he?
Oh, he just works in the bar down there.
Bricklayer.
He's great crack.
That's a good one, actually. Seamus Heaney.
Why you just had brothers of famous people? They'd be fit to tell you more crack about them, wouldn't
Here, would I tell you
Probably
what?
better, Craig.
they?
Used to piss the bed. Yeah.
Would you trade, you say?
3, one more. So you have Heaney and Billy Connolly. You have 2 poets of their day.
Jesus Christ. Fuck, third one. I could just tell them to take a +1. That'll be
So
rounded
it'll be
up.
5. No, you're not allowed 5.
No, I
one
say
more.
one. Take a +1.
1 each.
No, just the one.
Who gets the
I say
+1?
Billy take the one.
Fuck you, Seamus.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody.
Right.
Very good. Comedy clubs. Name 10 in Northern Ireland.
Jesus.
Very handily done. Nearly because there's that many of them fucking now. Lavery's, Pug Uglies, The Empire, My Wee Comedy Club, Black Box, Dailies, Magherafelt, Brickworks, The Kosh, Strabane.
Fuck, I thought he'd struggle with that.
That's 10.
That's 10.
I don't want any more. No more promotion.
That's the
No, give us more. If you
How many more?
Then
Empire?
you've Enniskillen, Pat's.
Uh-huh.
There's a new one started. With Newry, with McCooey's and Newry.
Right, yeah.
There's one in Lisburn. I can't remember the name of it now. They're popping
Just
up
fucking
everywhere.
popping
And
up
they
everywhere.
would they all go like monthly or weekly to classify them as
Lavery's and the Empire things weekly. Most of them out of
Most are
Belfast
Is
with
the
them
Empire still
monthly.
going, eh?
Port Rush, forgot about Port Rush.
Oh, that's
Kiwis.
Kiwis? They have a gig.
Yeah, they do.
How often's that? When's
I think it's monthly.
Regular enough, right?
Oh boys,
Have you been
it's
there?
our greatest export.
Have you been down to Magherafelt yet? The terrace?
Yeah, I headlined it just before Christmas last year.
I didn't get a
I
ticket.
missed that one.
Great spot.
It is.
yeah.
It's a nice wee spot, nice room. Top 3 comedians of all time.
Oh Jesus!
Living or dead?
These are difficult
Like
questions.
personal favourites or just like popular ones or what?
Personal favourites. Don't need pop. What do I need popular for? What am I going to do with that?
I do think Connolly's definitely up there for me, anyway.
Top 3.
I've always enjoyed Louis C.K.'s specials.
Yeah, me too.
And Me Too's right. Who else now? It kind of always changes. Like I'll see a special and I'll go, "Jeez, that is
Yeah.
unbelievable."
Yeah.
Like I watched there recently. Bo Burnham stuff.
Yeah.
Did you?
The lockdown stuff?
Yeah. Like I watched it when it came out, but I watched it again there about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, "That's brilliant."
Yeah.
I know it's like
You
people
didn't
say
like
like
it?
music comedy's a bit different, but
No,
I
but
think
I loved Bo Burnham stuff before that one there, and maybe I need to watch it again because I didn't get it.
Burnham now.
You didn't like it?
I just didn't.
I liked it.
I seen a guy do like a deep dive on YouTube about him, and it actually was like, oh god, this man is levels above everyone else.
Yes.
Where it was like, this was like that last special was the end of his previous specials.
Yeah.
So the guy made like a pyramid scheme, like how they were all connected,
Fuck's sake.
and you're like, oh Jesus Christ.
Jesus
think-
Christ.
But I think he's come because he's wiped his whole social media there.
Yeah.
So usually that means there's
doing
something
something.
something
brewing.
new's coming shortly. So
One more.
See, I just love his deadpan, like it's just typical laughy song stuff. Maybe I'm just a bit immature for it. You know, he's like, am I skiing or am I in a gay port? Like shit like that. There, it's just hilarious.
You need tissues for it.
Yeah.
There's a guy, and his stand-up never really done much for me, but as a comedian, I always loved his output was Gary Shandling.
Someone's mentioned that on this podcast.
Yeah, he's done some like the stuff he done. He was ahead of his time, I think. Like the Larry Sanders Show and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was a documentary made by what do you call your guy, Judd Apatow, about him.
Oh, I must look
Right.
that up actually.
And it just was all about him and just his whole life and all. And he just came across a very intelligent guy,
Yeah.
really deep guy, you know. But I always thought his stuff was class. Yeah, I could go on for hours about all them boys.
Did he not get very like religious and all spiritual? Whenever,
Yeah.
Near the end,
Yeah.
was he not with did a thing with Bill Burr or not Bill Burr, Bo Burnham?
Yeah, the green room.
The green room. Did you see that bit where
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like,
Who are you guys? It's like funny. I was thinking the same thing.
it was so funny. That's like I can rewatch that over and over again. There's just it's just.
I'm leaving out so
good.
many people. There's a comedian also, Patrice O'Neill.
Aye, Patrice
Yes.
O'Neill's
Like I
amazing.
think he is the ultimate. Like he always had this thing where and I was like, so it's like in comedy, half the crowd should be pissing themselves laughing,
Yeah.
and the other half should be in absolute disgust and horror.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what stand up is like.
His stuff where he was on the radio and talking, like giving relationship advice.
Yeah, Black Phillip.
Oh my god,
remember
that
that.
is the best shit I've ever heard in my life.
His special, Elephant in the Room, I think is probably one of the best specials ever made. Like.
And he
Because
like,
he's just, it's like he's just playing with the audience.
Yeah,
like he's
exactly.
like he knows exactly what they're gonna say to him. You know.
and he did the same thing in the radio. Whenever like women came in, they were so annoyed at him, and then by the end of it, they were like loving him.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
He's fantastic now.
I have
Or
a wee one
was,
here
God
I'm gonna
rest him.
play.
Oh, we're getting our first video.
First video, Norm MacDonald.
Oh Jesus! How did I not forget it? Norm.
Somebody new, you know. This city's great
Oh.
because of the neighborly people, you know. But I did meet one neighbor, interesting story, you know, that this guy, he just moved in, you know, next door to me. So I'm always one to meet the neighbors.
You like to chat with the neighbors,
Yeah, because, you know, so I went over to the guy, knocked on the door next door to where I live, and I say to the guy, I said, hey, I'm your new neighbor, you know, and I said, good to see you, you know, nice to run into you, you know, welcome to the neighborhood, you know. And so the guy, I said, what do you do for a living there, sir, you know, if you don't mind me asking? You know, what do you do for a living? I'm a nightclub comic, I tell the guy. So he says to me, he says, I work down at the University of Science there. He says, I'm a professor.
That's a good school, by the way.
I can't remember the exact place.
Sure.
But, he says, I'm a professor of logic. So I says to the guy, he says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that. He says, oh, well, he says it's a kind of a pattern of syllogistic. Well, he says it's hard to explain. He says, why don't I give you an example? So I said, fair enough. Why don't you do that? So the guy says, well, he says, let me ask you a question. He says, do you own a doghouse? So I go, yes, I do. He says, well, then that means you probably have a dog. I said, yes. He says, well, that means you're likely to have a family if you have a dog. I said, yes, I do. He said, well, then that means you got kids, you're married. I said, yes, I am. He says, well, then you're a heterosexual man. I said, yes, sir, I am. he says, well, you see, that's logic there. I asked if simply from finding out you had a doghouse, I made this series of inferences, and I have found that you're a heterosexual man simply from the fact that you had a doghouse. Well, I said, good God, isn't that something? So I said, well, I won't waste any more of your time there, neighbor. And I said, I'll see you later. See you around, okay. So I said, come by one day and have a chicken with me. Same as I left. So I left. So I go to get a bus, to the bus stop. And I walk down to the bus stop, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened to me, And I'm standing at the bus, and no bus coming at all, 5 or 6 of us standing around, and one guy lights up a cigarette there, and he goes, as soon as you light up a cigarette, the bus comes. And he smokes the whole damn cigarette, no bus comes. So I said to the guy, well, that theory really worked, huh? And the guy goes, well, sometimes it works. Anyways, the guy goes, what's new with you? I go, well, I had an interesting thing happen to me today. I said, I met my neighbor. And he goes, oh, yeah? I go, he had a hell of an interesting job. I said, he's a professor of logic down at the University of Science. And so the guy says, is that so? He says, professor of logic. He goes, what the hell is that, logic? I said, well, it's a series of something or other. Right. I said, I can't remember exactly, but I said, I'll give you an example if you want to hear an example. So the guy goes, all right, fair enough. So I said, let me ask you this. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you own a doghouse? And the guy goes, no, I don't own a doghouse. So the guy says, oh, yeah, you're one of them gays.
No, funny. Me and McCann was telling me he was watching a clip the other night about Norm. You ever tell a comedian called Anthony Jessilink?
Yeah.
There was a show on years ago called Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
It was like an X Factor for comedians.
I remember he was a judge.
Norm was one of the judges, and Jessilink was the host. And somebody said to Jessilink, like a reporter or something, going, there's a wee bit of animosity between yous. Because Jessilink, he'd say something about a contestant, and Jessilink would just jape back at him or whatever. So Jessilink said he had the bright idea that he'd hamp this up. So he said to Norm, me and you should pretend we're feuding, to get the publicity, they'd love it. So Norm says, yeah, no bother. So Jessilink, for weeks, promoting the show, anytime he was asked about Norm, he'd just shit on him. He'd say all this hateful stuff. Then the first person that asked Norm about Jessilink, he'd go, yeah, he's a great guy. So just made Jessilink look like a pure wanker.
I think Norm MacDonald was one of the smartest people.
Yeah, he wasn't appreciated. Like, I remember when they all died, like, and there was all these clips and all. I remember there was a guy spoke about, he used to go and tour with them. He said of every 10 gigs, he'd bomb about 3 of them. Yeah. Now, the 7 of them, he'd do the show, round of applause, he'd go back into the green room. The ones he'd bomb at, he'd go to the front door and shake everyone's hand and go, hey, thanks for coming.
Just to fucking rub it in.
Just to go, aye.
I just remember watching this, one of them YouTube, Norm MacDonald's life story YouTube-y sort of things. There was one where it tracked his interviews for the last 10 years, and he was dropping all these wee hints in along the way that he was going to die soon.
Yeah.
Like he had cancer, and he had all these wee cancer jokes and death. Yeah. He goes, what is death? And I remember just watching it all together, and I was like, what a funny bastard.
And he kept it all to himself.
He kept it just all to himself.
How long did he have cancer then?
It was 10 years.
Seriously?
It was actually longer. He, when he was in his 20s, had to get a lump of his stomach removed with cancer, but it kind of fixed it for a while, but then it must have came back then.
Heavy fucking smoker too,
That's right.
But he was class. I love all the stories you hear. All those wee side stories. I was with Norm this time, and he did this, and he's showing up to the bar 5 hours late or something. And the place is closed, and he's I'm here.
Where are you going?
Top 3 Adam Sandler films.
Oh, Christ!
Are you a fan?
Yeah, purely the fact that I love that he's just making movies with his friends, and he's like, I don't give a shit about any. Is
critics, any of that.
Happy Madison, isn't it?
That's right. well, Happy Gilmore has to be there.
Yeah.
I like Billy Madison, even though it got trashed.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think it was class.
I'd
say Billy Madison's the one I quote most. Fucking love it.
It's
funny. I was actually starting to watch some of his, like he does these serious movies now. It was a Punch Drunk Love. I was trying to watch one night, and then I kind of half fell asleep with it. And then he's a new one as a spaceman or something.
I want to watch that.
I like his stuff. Like he did a Hustle one there. It was like a basketball one. See, you give me like an American underdog film with sport in it, and some wee guys not doing well. And
I love it. Where's the film? Uncut Gems.
It was so good.
Remember he said if he doesn't win, if the film doesn't win an Oscar, he's going to make the biggest piece of shit film. And sure enough, about a year or two later, he made Hubie Halloween on Netflix.
It's terrible.
So no respect for that. The Grown Ups I enjoyed too.
I liked Grown Ups, to be fair. There's some good acting chops in that. What was it? Chris Rock in it.
It's funny how like we live in a time now where you can't just make a silly movie.
Aye.
No.
They're like, oh shit. You're like, no, woke. It's just a wee silly.
Just wokeness as well.
Not even woke, but you're like, not everything has to be a masterpiece.
No.
Not everything has to be 3 hours long, and like it was just a wee simple 80-minute movies.
Back to them fucking Happy Madison stuff, like that.
Billy
Madison and fucking what do you call him? Chris Farley.
Yeah. I actually went down a rabbit hole of him a while ago there too. I was watching Black Sheep again.
So did I. Beverly Hills Ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninja was a great one.
And then his sketch on SNL.
Chippendales.
Down by the Chippendales.
Down by the river, yeah.
And down by the river, and he just
right.
fucking smashes the table.
Funny, I remember seeing a clip about him as Norm was actually talking about him. Mm-hmm. It's like he's the only guy he ever knew where like he'd do a pratfall onto like a coffee table, and most people announced him you'd put your hands out. He never did.
He didn't have.
He says he never had like a safety thing in him to protect himself, and then he just like OD'd. Then he never.
Fucking nuts. We're going to go on to your origin story in a wee minute, Mark. But we've got listeners' letters. We actually have people that write in to us.
Actual post, like
fucking come in like a postcard, like a Magherafelt postcard.
Yeah, we need to get back to that. I believe.
I actually love it. The penmanship.
Even now, people emails too much bother for them.
There's a few people actually write in. I actually didn't know could write, so in English. So there you go. Cue the music. There we go. Local GAA coaches wrote in to ask if the public see any of the boys in the pub to text them straight away, as they have an under 10s blitz coming up in Auchnacloy and they need to be sharp. Don't be tempted by Flax's Guinness or Dorman's cocktails. Another one here is Gillian McFaggerty from Mullaboy Crescent has asked that the wee ball bag in the silver Golf that parks outside her house in the morning to please stop. So that's just near the rainy school.
None of these are related to Mark then, no?
No. This is Dimpna, local Westland Road.
I thought I was going to have to answer for these. I was like,
no. This is listeners' letters.
You get a golf.
No. Local Westland Road woman Dimpna Corrigan says her husband listens to our podcast when he's gardening, and she asked to tell him to stop avoiding the children, and if he wants a bush to work on, there's a perfectly good one in the house.
A lot of curse women about Magherafelt.
There's some girls about.
I've curded many as a Magherafelt though. Oh, aye. Soft hands with a hard touch.
He used to do riding lanes. Riding lanes.
Oh yeah, that was a great.
No, like.
That
was one day of just I'm sick of sitting in a studio. I need to get outside, and it's just this. As I was saying, I think it was somebody asked me that a while ago, and it was like you spend a month making a video and it's grand, but then something you do at the spur of a moment in an hour, they're like. Everyone says riding lanes, but no effort in it. Talking absolute shit for now.
Do you not think you've got gold there now? Like you could do a series on different riding lanes.
I did. It was actually a sketch idea I had one time where I was going to do like different riding lanes, but it was like a, like a property development type video where like advertising this lane here, blah blah.
As you can see, the tree.
Yeah, like drone footage and all, and.
Welcome.
Yeah.
The square footage of the lane.
No property tax. No, like that there.
I love it.
So there's always a kind of an idea I had for video, and then just one day I was like, no, I'm just going to video myself up here and take them on a tour of it. But it's mental. The amount of people don't like it. Definitely must be a culty thing.
Has to be, yeah.
Must be. I think there's a wee bit of gold there you're missing out on anyway. Origin story, Mark. Origin story. First memory.
Oh,
that's how far back we're going.
It was dark.
The memory, or
there's no lights,
or the room.
I was just clawing my way out.
Is this the womb?
I don't know what it was. First memory. I remember my mother and my grandmother taking me for a haircut.
Right.
In Lisnaskea, County Fermanagh.
Was that traumatizing?
No, I just was I just must have been when it came online. I don't know when or what.
They flicked your switch in the back of your head. Or
what? My mother says she remembers I went mental, like I didn't like it at all. I don't remember that at all. I just remember going to it.
There's the traumatic.
Yeah, that was my first memory. Nothing glamorous, like.
Do you like your haircut now?
The mullet?
Do you like? No, not the haircut you have, but do you like getting a haircut?
I don't mind it. No, I don't mind it.
You're not fussed on it then.
What about you, John?
Do I like it my haircut? I love getting my haircut. Fuck.
There's some boys make a day of it. I remember back in the day, you went in for a haircut, it'd be 5 minutes. Now Cubs are going and getting a haircut, and you're like, that boy looks like he's literally just got it done.
They're getting a wee swish fade.
Oh, they're getting it topped up.
And they're giving a wee bottle of beer.
How do you get beers when you go in and get your haircut?
No, I'm driving.
No, you're driving.
A wee cup of coffee or anything? Do they offer you anything?
I don't take.
But sure, that's stupid. You drink coffee and there's hairs going everywhere.
True. No, well, like I just don't.
We've lost the run of ourselves. It's hard to be at the drive-thru. You go in and there's two all over.
Did you hear John Murray's isn't cutting hair any longer?
Who?
John Murray's.
I don't know hair.
He's cutting it shorter. Oh, you walked into that.
Terrible.
There's that Opus clip.
Opus. Get that. Did we even talk about Opus? I don't think the camera knows. Anyway, what was your what siblings? Any siblings?
No, only child.
Only child. Plenty of attention on you.
That's what happened. No, I've always said, I was never spoilt, but I never had me wants.
Yeah.
I was never like.
You'd never be wanting.
I never. Like, people always assume when you're only child, you're absolutely ruined. You're like, no, I got very little.
What area did you grow up in?
So I just kind of live outside of Fintona, so it's in the countryside. Like,
was there many neighbours or like?
Yeah, fortunately, like. All my neighbours were all my age.
Brilliant.
So I always said to people like, oh, you're not wild lonely. No, it was great because if I wanted to play, I'd go down to my neighbours. I was sick looking at them. I'd go back up.
I'm away here. You've pissed me off.
And then we'd also spend a lot of time down at my grandmother's, which was in Lisnaskea town, at the weekends. So it was a nice, you go down, all my cousins would be there, and you play in them all weekend, and then back up to Fintona.
Sound like a lovely childhood.
Yeah, it was great.
Fuck's sake.
Fantastic.
Why are you raging?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm so damaged. It's such a great upbringing. I can't complain.
Primary school?
Yeah, it was a wee country school down beside us.
Many in the class?
27 in the entire school.
Female? All male, female? What was it?
Oh, Jesus.
Bit of both?
Oh, there's a good mixture now.
It was mixed.
We had a pet goat.
Yeah, a pet goat?
We had a pet goat.
Was it your goat?
No, it just landed one day and no one ever asked where it came out of.
Was it like the school goat?
Yeah.
Mascot? Mm-hmm. Do you know the name?
It was, what was the name of it now?
I don't have it here, but do you know?
I don't know. I just remember being there while we were doing the 11 plus. That's all I remember.
How did you get on your 11 plus?
Oh, bad.
Sounds of it.
I remember just looking out the window going, Larry, we're fucked here.
Looking at fucking goats during your 11 plus.
No, I've never good at any exams now.
What about high school?
It's called St John's Dromore. So it's like
Dromore.
So there's Dromore County Down, Dromore County Tyrone. So it's another
there?
Yeah.
Two different Dromores. Mm-hmm. It's a bit stupid.
Well, it is.
No, but I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm not saying in your case it's stupid. Just the
no, you're right. No, we didn't get out of it with too many qualifications out of it, did
we? Did you like school?
I was very indifferent to school. Like, I didn't hate it or didn't love it. Mm-hmm. Like, I learned nothing, but they were a great school. I always said they were good at rounding you off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
just enough.
You wouldn't come out educated, but you'd come out a civil enough person, kind of a thing.
Just enough.
And
did you excel in anything, any subjects?
I've never excelled in anything in my life. I just try things and see what happens.
Try your best.
Work it out for you.
No,
I'm not going to ask you to read out the GCSEs, like, but was there any subjects you're like,
all G and D's?
Love art, love PE, love...
No, the creativity was knocked out of it by the time we got
Really?
the secondary school.
Jesus, no more finger paint.
There was fingering, but no finger paint. It was also in that day, remember, because it was the Celtic Tiger.
Right.
So we were all told, fucking don't be doing poetry or acting. Get on the building site as quick as possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And literally, the month after we left school,
2008.
the crash
Yeah.
just
Right.
hit. Like, and it was a school where just no, you just need to do plumbing or electrical or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and most of us did.
Fuck's sake.
What'd
you do?
I actually went on after school and done engineering.
Right.
Which I loved the hands-on stuff of it, but the fucking the maths and stuff, I was like, this is boring like a shit. Like, so I remember I done it, and I was hating it. I was only there about 6 months, and I remember walking across the front. There was like a first floor foyer, and looked down and hear these couple of kids giggling and laughing, fucking about, and I seen the camera. It was the media department, and I was like, and I remember sitting watching them. I was like, they're having wild crack. Hey, I need to do that. So then I also changed to that then.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how I got into that.
So where did you do that at?
I was Omagh.
Omagh Tech. Many years was that?
2.
Couple of years. Did you transfer anywhere else, or was that you finished?
Yeah, well, I had no desire to go. I have no real time for school, but I'd done good enough that the lecturer was like, you should apply for college.
Right.
So I says, well, screw it, like everyone else was, and I was like, no, I ain't fucking going to uni. I'd no want it. I think I had it in my head, or was like I was going to have to move away up far and new
Because
place.
of the type of course?
Well, because universities were always in England or Belfast or Coleraine or whatever.
You homebird then?
Oh, yeah.
Just keep me close to home.
Yeah, yeah. Even yet, like, no matter where the gig is, I'm like, I just want to drive home. Just want to get home to fuck.
I find that myself, actually. You'd be more of a... I like, I don't know, just being close to your community and, I don't know, being able to
I like the
do your own thing there and thrive.
Well, I think as you get older, you just build a wee corner for yourself. And funny, this past while, there's been loads of people going, why do you not move up to Belfast? I'm like,
Fuck Belfast.
but it's not even that. You're like, once I do a gig and I'm just in the car and down home again, it's just like normality.
Switch off too.
Yeah. So no, I'm happy enough for always was a homebird. But I applied, and then I got into University of Ulster in Coleraine to do media. And no, it wasn't. I remember, because I was kind of on the hop about it anyway. I was kind of like, I don't want to be here. But I remember the first week, I'll never forget, it was a big like lecture hall, and this guy came in. I could barely see him. I didn't even know what he looked like. But he just went, I'm playing a film here. And I'll be back in 2 hours, and I'll have loads of questions, and you better fucking know them. So we sat and we watched Steven Spielberg's very first movie, Duel.
Right.
Right.
It was like a TV movie he made. So we watched it, and I was like, this is great. But the boy never came back. So sat.
Do you still have them answers wrote somewhere?
So no, I was sitting there. I was like, I'm going to blow this fucking place wide open. What kind of lorry was it? Everything, I know what it is. He never came back, and then I was just like, I'm fucking paying $9,000 for this. So,
Jesus.
But then the timetable was wild balls too. It was like an hour of a Monday, and then nothing, then to like an hour of Wednesday and a Friday. If it had been like Monday, Tuesday, and you could have went home, I probably would have stuck it out.
Stinky.
But I was like, no, fuck this. And fair play to her, I went to the course director, and I was like, here, I couldn't be bothered with this anymore. And she could have went dead on, I don't really give a shit. But fair enough, she would get, come on into the office here. And she says, well, what do you want to do? And I kind of was like, I just like making things and blah, blah. And she says, well, there's a course that started just there in Magherafelt in September. She says, and she got onto the phone and she rang him. This day I don't know who she was, but I owe her everything. Hey? And she says, go up to him on Monday. And I went to Magherafelt, and probably the best 3 years of my life then, Magherafelt. And it was called Creative Technologies.
Oh, cool. I've heard of it actually.
And it wasn't like school at all. Like, there was no real exams. It was all projects. And there was like videoing and web design and coding and all piles of shit. Like, I thrived in it. I loved it.
Lethal.
And my life peaked after that.
You loved it. You must have loved it and enjoyed it then. And what was next? Was it the start of the business, or?
Yeah, so after I left uni, I was like, I'm kind of a independent kind of a
hate everybody else.
poor, I know. But I was working part time, and I was like, I can't get a normal job. Like,
What were you working at part time?
I was working in the cost cutter and all through uni, you know, and then that whole summer and all I was working on it as well. And I loved it, right enough the people and all, it was great. So then I decided then just I'll start my own business, and I was like, I don't care what it is. I was like, as long as I'm out on my own, don't have to take orders and stuff. So done that for a while. Done that for what? Must have been 5 years or something.
And what was that? That was the...
So it started off like online stuff, was selling stuff online and all, and selling like electronic parts and stuff. I'm a real tinkerer, like, you know, everything I see, I'm like, I'd love to take that apart, see how it works. And then it started getting around that I was like having like parts for phones and stuff, so people started going, here, fix that. I was like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm at, sure. But I would do it, and it worked all right. And then eventually I had the shop then, Femel Town, and I was at then for a couple of years.
How'd that start? Like, you just seen the wee...
Purely that there. I was like...
Was there a shop already there? What was already there?
But it was laying dormant for
Empty
ages.
unit, like...
And, it was just... I was working from home, and I just started getting running out of room, and then more people was coming to the house and all, and I was like, I may as well just get a fucking place. And I was in it then for a couple of years. Great.
Fixing screens... Fixing
anything,
dirtiness,
birdhouses, the whole thing. I'd do
just anything.
No, mainly electronic
was it called Tinkers,
stuff.
or what was it?
Tinkers.
We Tinkers.
Yeah. So that was what I done for a couple of years, but it was always like, you know, it was always one of those things where it's like, this isn't what I really want to do, but it's as best as I'm going to get down here.
Yeah. What's the strangest thing you've ever fixed, or any crazy stories from those days in the shop?
There's women used to bring in this guy. I don't know if he was like a fucking trader. He used to bring in this old, like, I don't even know. Like, there's stuff in my house that I have no idea what it is. Because when it closed, I was like, I told everyone come lift it, but they never did. But I still kept on it because, like, knowing them about 15 years down the line, like, can I have that electronic, whatever the fuck it was, time capsule,
flux capacitor?
But there's things that I have no idea. And like, you'd look it up and you go, I have no what. Like, there's things like ABM boxes.
Ooh.
And I've like looked up and like have opened it, and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck
that does
any of this shit is, like. Probably a bomb or something.
You thought I was about to bring up.
I thought you were CCTV.
Here's Mark fixing a phone.
And then I took the midlife crisis. Then and I got into stand-up.
It wasn't too midlife, like, what?
27.
That's not too bad.
Quarter-life crisis.
Was that you working from the business, and then that evening just shooting onto a gig somewhere, or?
Yeah, well, it was always the first thing I wanted to be was a film movie director. Like, from was like, everyone says, what do you want to be when you're a child? Like,
that was what you wanted.
That's what I wanted. But then it always, in this country, you're always like, oh, you're never going to do that here. You might do weddings maybe, and that's about it. And I was like, oh, fuck happy people make me sick. So I was like, I can't do weddings, but I always loved the idea of it, look. And so it went from that. And then I took a notion then whenever I was at Tech in Omagh, I was like, radio would be great. I could do radio. And Q101 had just opened in Omagh. I was like, fuck, that could be me there, you know. And I remember going in one time for an audition, and he was like, your voice is just too bog. Even for here. And I was destroyed. Hey, I was like,
holy fuck, that is harsh though.
16 years of age.
That's basically, you are a mutant. Stay away from
it. Oh, we can't. These mics can't handle this. Fucking
Mike's just shaking.
But I was obsessed that time. Like, I was listening to Chris Moyles, Howard Stern. Like, there was a time.
Moyles was good at one stage. Like, I enjoyed him.
Who?
Moyles. Chris Moyles.
Aye, Moyles.
I liked his.
And then, so it was movies, and then the radio, and then when I was at Tech in Omagh, I remember there's the strangest thing. Like, stand-up was never a massive thing.
You weren't that big into it, were you? Or?
Not as a child. Yeah. And like, my parents, I had never heard them go, you knew of Billy Connolly and all, but that, that's all you really know about it. But I remember there was Extravision in Omagh, and I remember we used to go every lunch. There was a bargain aisle, and I'd get a DVD every day, like a movie, and watch it that night. And I was walking through it one day, and there was this bright blue and green DVD cover, and just attracted me eye. and it was Tommy Tiernan's first special.
Oh, lethal.
So I was 16, and I was like, I have no idea who. I don't know to this day why I bought it.
Yeah.
I had no clue about him. Didn't know where. Didn't even know he was from Ireland. And went home that night and watched it, and I was like, holy fuck! Like that was, and I was like, stand up.
Someone's doing this.
But again, at that time, like I remember I was going with a girl at that time, and I was like, I'm packing in the tech, and I'm going to do stand up, and she was the biggest laugh I ever got in my life. She was like, because there was no scene at that time. There was no.
You're funny.
There was no Shane Todd or Mickey Bartlett or Colin Geddes. So she was like, where the fuck are you going to do that?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, maybe. So all that stuff was kind of put in the back of my head. But then eventually now I'm kind of doing the form of all three, making me videos, doing my podcasts.
That's deadly, aye.
So
it all kind of...
It does go full circle eventually if you last long enough.
So what was your first move into comedy then? So you were working for yourself. Was it the video? Did you start with videos and then stand up?
No, everyone thinks that, but I don't stand up first.
Right.
Everyone always thinks you do videos and you go, I need to cash in on this. But no, I was always the stand up first. But it happened kind of relatively quick. I suppose that everyone just thinks it came differently. But there was a guy I went to TAC with in Omagh, and we said every year for about 10 years, right, we're doing a stand up gig this year. And it, every year came around and you do nothing like. But I remember that one year, I broke up with the girlfriend at the time, and like I was like, right,
This is it
now.
She's holding me back.
Yeah, and so I booked myself to do a gig in the Pav in Belfast.
The Monday night.
And I remember it was fucking Jesus Christ. Even going to Belfast was nerve wracking because I'd been to Belfast maybe 2 times in my life before that.
Jesus, you're right.
And it went all right. It went good enough, but that was me. I was like, oh, I'm doing this once, and then I'm going back to the normal life and making me wage every week and catch myself on. But done well enough that Luke asked me back, and then the country boy in me was like, oh, Jesus, I can't have bad manners and saying no. I'm doing this for you, Luke, not for me.
Mr. Luke, I will come.
Of course.
And done the second one, died me whole. Oh, I had shit, but that was the best one because the first, doing gigs and doing well, it's nice and all, but when I died and I went, oh no, I'm still here and I like doing that. Yeah. So it was more important. But yeah, like the second one, I was like, oh, I think I want to continue doing this now, even after I ate shit there for 10 minutes.
Is it that sort of like thing where you're like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna show you I can
No, I think it's more like it's not fuck the audience, it's more I need to tinker that next time. I want to work on that and see how it does.
You know how to tweak it? Sort of
it's the more working on it. And
same venue, different night?
Yeah, so it was actually, like, I think I done my first one in, like, November. And that's where I met McCarney. McCarney was in the front row of that first gig. I actually came across... so I done the first gig. It was a Monday night, and I was in work on the Tuesday, and he just messaged me on Facebook.
Can you be my friend?
Pretty much. I screenshotted it the very next day, and then because he was doing his the following week, and then my second gig then wasn't until February, but then on the second one, the boy MCing was Keys.
No way.
And he was like, we heard this fella from Tyrone was gigging. He was like, I know every comedian in Tyrone. Who is this boy? But he'll tell you I ate shit, but he was like, there's something there. And then he booked me then for the gig in Omagh.
Wow.
And it just went on from that. And then the third one in Omagh, I was like, no, I want to do this for real now. So after 3 gigs, I packed up the business.
Lethal.
Like,
after 3 gigs?
Yeah, like there was no indication that anything was going to go well. And I remember telling my mother and my friends and all, and they were like, what are you doing? Like, they were like, what the fuck are you doing here?
And then what way did that conversation go with your parents and all? You were like, just fucking wise up.
Gonna give this comedy a go.
My mother's great. She's she's the type of person where she's like, as long as you're happy. Yeah. She's like, it's a bit of a risk, but it's up to yourself. And the boy's just kind of going. He doesn't say a pet, he just kind of goes...
just the faces.
He's thinking inside, what a dickhead, like. But he was kind of like...
Shame enough.
It's up to you. But I was kind of like, I may as well try it. If not, nothing really to lose. Like, if I do fuck up, I'll just go to Asda or work. Like.
Be a normal person.
And so I closed the shop in April. and I done my very first Parish Unknown video in June.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Just exploded from there. Them videos were
they
did so well.
And then
Hold on. Have a video.
oh, just don't play it.
Oh, fuck. What?
I throw it in the bin there.
No, it's actually episode 2 I have.
Oh, I've been doing.
It's the
Bendorum one. It did massive too, didn't it?
It actually helped me learn about Bundoran. I didn't know much about it.
It's so badly made.
The video?
Yeah.
That's not.
Like the first one I actually made, I had it in my head for about a year. I remember telling friends about it and they were like, Jesus, don't do that. Like they were like,
don't.
Friends of mine did
Is that
say,
like don't shame the
oh,
cunt?
they were like, don't, what are you doing? Like my friends of mine did say they were thinking of ringing help for me.
Fuck's sake.
They were like, what is going on here? And then they were like, no, we get it now.
Oh, aye.
But then the Skilling one, I shot it one day and I took it home. And I remember editing it and I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I didn't like it. But I was like, I kind of think I know now. So I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The next morning, I went back and just shot the whole thing.
Oh, Jesus.
The whole day.
What was wrong with the first one? What do you think?
Because I didn't really know where I was going with it. I just
random
went.
shit.
I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know. And I thought if I just go with a camera, I'll figure it out.
Rehearsal date then?
That's what it actually was like.
Yeah.
And I had a new camera at the time, so I had no idea how the fuck to use it or anything. And so it was kind of I practiced more than anything else. But then when I came home and I seen how much of a balls I made, I was like, well, here I can improve that.
Yeah.
So I went back the next day and done it, and then put it up, and it was like a couple of minutes in, there was like 2,000 views. Fuck! 4,000 views. Yeah. But I was sitting going, oh fuck, what have I done?
Was that the one where Arlene Foster laid an egg? No?
Aye, that was the very first one. And then more views. I think I got to 50,000. I just put the laptop screen down.
How quickly did it go to 50,000?
Very quickly. I think it was literally within an hour.
Jeez.
Where do you think it spread most? What?
Facebook?
Facebook?
Facebook was the number
I think
one.
that's where I seen it at the time.
Aye, Facebook.
Not on Facebook as much anymore.
No, me neither.
Back then, that's where I was.
Yeah, Facebook probably would have been the big one. Like.
Here is Bundoran.
The sun's up, bales are in, the tits are out. Everybody on the island of Ireland's been fingered here at least once. Welcome to Bundoran.
The hat.
Who's filming?
McCarney done bits of that.
Oh, did he? Mm-hmm. You do such a good job,
Clumps
it
of
actually
hair
feels
in the
like there's
back.
nobody with you.
Bundoran is a lovely place to go on holidays. It's Portrush for Fenians, Bob, that's all it is. On a scale of 1 to Jerry Adams, how many Protestants have you ever seen in the Emerald Bar? The Allingham Arms plays country music 9 nights a week. You see that room up there? That's where Richie Remo runs all the time.
State of Goose merchant's nice.
That's right, yeah.
She said it was legitimately like Marcus McCross's digger. Bent and full of rust. And then there's Waterworld. It's €50 for a swim. They reckon the whirlpool has healing powers. It's just the lures, more semen. Beach isn't bad. Every woman in Donegal still has sand or ass from the time her cherry was popped in Bundoran Beach. But in Bundoran Beach has popped more cherries than Rabina.
This was like educational for me. Like I had no clue about Bundoran. I didn't know what it looked like.
If the C-Sections concert was here every year, they should call it C-Sections. The amount of horny single mothers at it. Suck the skin off a banana. And now it wouldn't be Bundoran without the amusements. Used to call my ex-girlfriend the slot machine. Everybody had their fingers in her. Fucking bitch. And there's the ferry bridge down there. Legend has it, if you make a wish there, a gay lad will take the shingles. Which will be your done down your doll no harm. And if it's funny you're after, there's a load of horny oil dolls at the slot machines with new hips looking WD-40. And if you're bait there, there's always a stray ride out the back of Waterworld.
Stray ride.
It's perfect for the whole family. You may swallow the odd used rubber and take pink eye. If you're here, it did me no harm. Brian McCarney invented pink eye.
I haven't seen that in years.
I was looking at it either. I was gonna say,
Oh, it's so good.
have you ever got any backlash from anybody?
Oh, all the time.
Proper backlash.
You'd always hear wee bits. Like I remember we done a gig in, do you know what's the big festival was in Derry there? Oktoberfest.
Yes.
It was about a year after that, maybe even longer. And there's one, Brian McCarney owns a couple of hotels in Bundoran. But there was a couple of ones who used to work for him, worked there whenever that came out. He says he was raging.
Oh.
What?
Oh, but I was like, such a thing to be enraged about that I insisted that he invented pink eye. You're like, it's such a stupid thing to
Imagine
be.
him sitting in the house. I didn't invent that guy.
It's such a stupid thing.
To get annoyed of it.
But I actually, funny enough, somebody tagged me that summer when
Yeah.
Dorn
I skyrocket.
went through the roof, and everyone was tagging me in, and I was like, no, it's not me.
Here.
Like, it's just a coincidence. But then I got an email from like a counsellor going, do you want to come back? And we'll have to keep it under the radar now.
Right, yeah,
Fuck off.
Yeah. I was like, well, do you want to come back to Dorn?
do it
But why
again.
wouldn't they like promote you, use you as a?
Oh, there's been a couple of. I remember there was another fella. He was like a counsellor or something, and but it wasn't Donegal. It was, where the fuck was it? And there was like a county council meeting, and they were like, we need this boy here to pump up, and he played that, and it was all these owl boys going, what the fuck? It was like a big presentation. He met me after a gig one time. He's like, I was trying to get you to do, and they were all just horrified. And I was like, yeah.
The old boys probably
Natural.
thought you were in jail.
Why the fuck? Let
Is
this
he,
hair
is he getting out of jail soon or something?
So.
Oh fuck! I definitely do one for Port Rush.
But it's funny, the more you do get, like, there's people that I do laugh, like, even with stand up, I do say things or do things and go, oh fuck, I'm going to get in wild bother. It's always the thing you don't think about.
Yeah.
that people pick up
The
on.
thing you think you're going to get in shit for, no one says anything.
Something really
And it's
silly.
always people, you'll say a bit about, you know, somebody you knew with a pair of red glasses one time. And every who or bar the person you knew with red laughing, you go, don't you ever speak with me ever again. Well, there was a fella on there too, you hear me, Marcus McCrossan's jib.
Yes, that's right.
Because that was the second one, and I remember after the first one, he was drunk one night. We were at the South Do in Irvinstown, and he was like, "Hey, you mentioned me in your next video," and he gave me his card and all, and I was like, "I will."
Same boy
Marcus McCrossan.
that you mentioned.
And actually, I came across the business card the other day in my room, and he, after that came out, he Snapchatted me. He was like, "Here, lad, don't ever,
Don't do that.
don't ever mention me ever again." And I was like, "Well, you ask and you shall receive."
That is lethal.
That's
You
fucking
just fucking
brilliant.
with people. Just
Oh, pretty much.
they don't even know. Very,
Free
very good.
advertising film.
Very
Brilliant.
good. State of Goose, how'd that actually come about?
Good question. How did that come about? I think it was because when I first started, McKegney was the only person that I knew that was interested in comedy.
Yeah.
Like, none of my friends or any of them were in it. So we kind of just started doing things together and taking the piss. And
Was the tickets thing? Was that the first one you did?
was it the first one?
I can't remember.
That was Buffy's, wasn't it?
I think it was the first one, yeah.
Brilliant. It was so fun.
And then we actually did get together. We were going to do more of them, and then the pandemic hit.
That's right. Yeah.
And then James got the job and all. And it was just
Fuck's
didn't
sake,
get-
James.
I
Going
know.
Nah,
to
he
get a
was-
career.
I know.
What the fuck?
So it didn't suit a lot of them, but probably some of my favourite things I've done was the State of Goose
Yeah.
stuff, more than my own stuff. The JA manager,
Aye, this one.
yeah.
No, this is one of my favourites too, actually.
It was brilliant.
I
Enjoy,
just don't play it. Just
enjoy-
one video enough.
enjoy. I'm fucking playing it, lad. I prepped these here. What do you think I'm doing here?
The GAA can go fuck themselves. I've won 12 All-Ireland medals. I could win a McKenna Cup with one leg and a fucking brain hemorrhage. But then they shunned me.
Are you much of a GA man? Are you a GA man yourself? Not even, no.
Clearly not.
You don't.
It was a bet. Secondly, it was long
You don't give
overdue.
off
And third,
GA vibes.
so I'm putting together my own team.
Is that a compliment or is that an insult?
Just a big spud head, is it?
Either, no.
He's from New York.
Tight neck on him.
And his mother was once fingered in Killy Clipper Disco. So he's eligible to play. Jimmy O'Neill, he's a dopey prick. He says he's got some sort of disability, so we've got to fight him. What are you doing? If he doesn't soon start catching them balls, out the fuck he goes. Russian cunt. Nobody knows how to pronounce his name, so we just call him Paddy the Parish. He's a big whore, big old dick in him. And if the dick's good, you know the rest of them's good. And then there's my pride and joy, Donegal Dolly. See these things here? You get stuck in between them, it'll break your fucking spine.
How do you get anybody to agree to that? Like,
Getting more men than heart disease.
Good actor. Method.
Yeah, will regret the day that fucked me off.
hey, tell me this: is that not a film? There, like
Oh, yeah.
that would have been a fucking deadly film. It was like
Oh, it might still be.
it reminded me of like Mighty Ducks or something, just bringing all the wee
yeah,
the wee wankers from the town together that are shite or weird, and
Yeah,
you pull it off. Like
yeah.
fuck's
Funny,
sake.
that's one thing too. People would. There's more times that be boys driving past and they'll go, the dick's good, the rest of them's good.
yeah. He's a big her.
You're the grandmother. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, very good. And then what was next then? So State of Goose, you started doing your own stuff. You got into your own stuff. Parish Unknown. Do you continue? Are you going to do another Parish Unknown? Like, is there something coming?
I always felt it was never. Do you ever make something you're like, this is kind of 50% of what I had in my head, and I'm kind of at a level now where I think I can do it better.
Yeah.
And I never really ended it. You know, things come in threes, so there was 2 on a Christmas special. So I might do a third one, and then that'll be
it.
That'll be
No
it
chance of
then.
you turn around just doing all the towns and.
I mean,
fucking-
you could, but
what would you get out of it? I suppose?
Everyone does it now.
Aye.
They're like, you go on
Influencers.
TikTok and they're all fucking going.
What do you think, influencers?
Not a fan. No.
No. Fergus like,
It's
yes.
just a political way of saying it, though. So it is.
They're
No,
easy.
sorry, I fucking loathe it. No, but
Sure, they're
like,
Egypts. Sure, they're Egypts. Aren't
No,
they?
you're like if you can
make a living out of it, why
You
not?
do it, fair play to you. But like, there's been times when people have offered me things for free for a plug, and I'm like, no, I'm not. That's not.
It's
what
not
I do.
you.
Like,
Really
and I think especially in Ireland, it's kind of cringe because in America, you're like, okay, you got a house or a Ferrari. Here, it's like you got a bowl of champ. Or a rental dealership or something.
Or biscuits. Biscoff Rocky Road from Mackerlane's Bakery.
That hasn't been opened.
We're opening soon.
No, we're not.
I think it's because it's rare that you're like, no, it's free in this.
Aye, no, you're
What's
right.
the catch? What's the
Oh,
catch?
yeah.
You looking something from me?
I'd
Huh?
rather pay you and then I don't owe you anything.
Aye. Someone gives you something free, you're like, what's going on? I don't trust
It's not
this.
even that. You're just like, no, you worked hard making that or whatever. I'll pay you.
Aye.
You know.
Fair.
So from State of Goose to your own stuff, when did you start going big with the stand up?
Well, I wouldn't say I went big. I just kind of
Not big as in you became big, more when you went full throttle, like right stand up, every week. I am doing one every week or at least every 2 weeks.
No, I'm alright.
No, I'm grand on cheers. I'll pocket
Good.
it later.
I'm good.
Fuck's sake.
Pretty much from day one. I mean, that's whenever I quit the shop and all, and like I rarely ever asked for gigs or anything. It was just kind of word of mouth, and
Aye.
especially at that time, like everyone was kind of like, it's not what it is. Back then,
Yeah.
you could count the amount of stand-ups in the country in your one hand, and you're like, if I can get a guy that can just stand on stage for 10 minutes
Yeah.
without taking a fucking lapse.
I remember me and Jude we were talking about this, where we were, you and James McCarney were playing Stenhall.
That's right, aye.
And we were saying there's a whole bunch of like weigh-ins there.
Oh, aye, we
And
went
you're-
in, it was like, oh, God. I
And
remember that.
James's stand-up especially, it was all about like wanking and
Yeah,
fucking.
so was mine. We used to tag team with the stuff. I remember going in and going, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? It was one of those ones where you like said it and then you're like, I'm sorry. But I actually was booked to do Stenhall again last year and I got lost.
You got, what? You got lost getting there?
I was booked to do it. It was me, Shane, Dave Elliott, and who else? William Thompson, I think.
Uh-huh.
I drove the whole way there, and I got to. Is there a road been like the new Glen?
Aye, it's going to Derry. The new
Aye.
road to Derry.
I got I don't know where the fuck it took me, but I ended up on it, and because there were still.
And the sat nav doesn't know.
There's a new road, and some of the exits weren't finished yet, so I had to drive the whole way into Derry City. So it pretty much just went cross country. And then I got there, and I was like, I had to be on stage for like 6:30, and I was in Derry at 6. I was like, if I throttle it now, I'll get there. got to the festival, and
Oh, give him his
Sorry.
phone.
yeah, right.
All our phones are dead. Sorry.
I got to the
Continue.
festival, and could I find the entrance into the fucking place?
Oh yeah, right enough. It's
And because I kind of I could remember it from the last time, and I was like, the entrance was here last year.
shithole.
it's different, and it almost goes down like a wee country lane, and
does.
then it goes into a farm.
But there is guys with like yellow coats doing like, and I remember going to guys, I was like, I'm supposed to be on here. How do I get in? And they went, yeah, you're down here, and and I was like, right. Ended up right back at him again. And I think I'd done that twice, to the point where I was like, I can't do this again. This guy's gonna be like, what a fucking dickhead. And I went into this lane of a house, and I could see the stage. I could see where we're supposed to go in. And I remember going on Instagram just to prove that it was there. Just to prove that it wasn't. I went, I tried to get there, couldn't make it. I was literally there, and if I jumped the ditch, I probably would have got there. But I couldn't find the entrance to it. And then it was like the gig was over at like 7:30 or whatever it was, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, raging.
So
Did the rest of them make it?
Oh, yeah. It's just I couldn't find the entrance into the fucking place.
Fucking hell. That's a good. It's a good festival.
Yeah, very good.
The comedy's getting bigger and bigger in those stages as well. Like,
it's a real boom at the minute, and you keep going, it's gonna pop any day now, but it still seems to be.
I think the thing is that it's a great crossover from, like, if you go to a music gig, it's fantastic, it's great listening to music, but you usually get blocked. Whereas if you're just going for an evening and you just want like a pint, and comedy's just the perfect thing to kind of.
Well, I think people feel more involved now, just with podcasts and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And they hear you talking about it and stuff, and like the pandemic was probably the best thing ever happened for comedy, because
all the podcasts.
Everyone just started podcasting and putting out clips and stuff, and then when they came back to gigging again.
When did you start yours?
I started mine. I've tried mine now twice. I started it and I was like, oh fuck this. I wouldn't be a massive podcast fan, like.
Yeah.
What do you not like about it? Is it too loose?
Yeah, maybe. I've never really sat down and thought why I don't like it, but I usually I say no to a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look.
Only the buns are here, boys.
Macarons.
Yeah, I say no to an awful lot of them because just fuck. I think it's just because there's you're kind of sick doing them too. Like there's so many. of them. I was always interested in the videos, more of it. I actually do there is a couple I suppose they're scripted podcasts on Spotify that I think are great, but I wouldn't really listen to.
You're not a podcast consumer.
I listen to the radio. I don't even listen to music or anything.
U105.
Yeah, Q101.
What about McCarney Plus?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. That's a very interesting platform.
It's great.
Well, it's pretty much just my own version of Patreon.
Yeah.
That was really all it was. I seen the fees that Patreon were charging. I was like, fuck that. So I'd rather go cheaper and make as much than go higher, charge the person more, and me get just as much or less.
Yeah.
So mine's $3.50 a month, and I've never put it up or never raised it because it's perfect. Because all it is the wee transaction fee, and
that's
yeah.
What are the fees from Patreon?
Patreon fees are quite high. I don't know what it is, but I remember who was telling me a while ago. It was so it's Patreon charge you a fee, and then because it's an American company, there's a transaction charge of putting that into
Fuckers.
sterling.
Fuckers.
And then
you
there's
go,
VAT.
we can work it out ourselves, lads.
Yeah, it is a bit of it's a lot I suppose at the start it's grand, but then it doesn't belong adding up. And if you're getting a couple of thousand subscribers or whatever,
is there not a UK version that we could use?
There's loads of versions now, but I always was like, maybe it's the awkwardness in me, but I just don't like putting my hands on other platforms.
I know what you mean.
You know, when
control your own.
It's like Patreon could kick you off in the morning at their own discretion.
If you did something wrong.
Something silly or something stupid, and you're gone. And they're all the same. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube's all the same.
Rumble. Is it Rumble?
Rumble's 1 2. So I just thought, fuck it. I wonder could I make my own.
Succeeded.
Yeah, well, it's going now 2 years and it's still ticking on. And
would you upload much?
Well, I pretty much, my podcast lives on there. Like I'll drop like a public one once a month, if even. And then there's exclusive videos. Like I shot a special there last month, and it'll be going up there. It won't be going out.
It's not going to be on YouTube or any of that.
No.
How long is it?
Half an hour, just 30 minutes.
Would
special.
that be your set at the moment? Is about 30?
No, so that's done now. So I'm trying to build a new hour now this year.
Where did you do that at?
Cull Island.
Did you?
Cull Island? Where'd you film?
Cull Island. Yeah. They said it couldn't be done.
Running water. There's running water in Cull Island.
Yeah. It was a great wee venue. It was great.
Good.
Was it whereabouts in Cull Island? What was it?
There's a community theatre in the middle of an industrial estate.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. And I went in on this nice wee suit, not suit, but like nice shirt and all. And I was just like, no, I'm just wearing this. It was just like an raggedy old check shirt and all.
Brilliant.
Just like, I'm just taking this easy, hey, I'm just having fun with it. And I've never shot. This is the first bit of stand up I've ever shot.
And what way did you get someone in to help you?
So there was a couple of guys come in, and so there was a proper production, like
Good stuff.
big rig. So they're going through an edit now at the minute. So
Lethal.
it'll be good
Buzzing.
to see that. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to turn out.
Was the crowd good?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, but then it's doing stand-up specials is a weird. Like a lot of them would tell you, it's not like when you're doing stand-up to a live audience, you're doing it to them. But whenever you're shooting a special,
You have to look at
you're
the
doing
camera.
it to the ones behind the camera. The audience is kind of just.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's all so new to me. I was like, but I need to try it
Aye.
to see where I can. So for the next time, I can do it right.
Is that the way the pros, do they not film? They film like 3 of them and then cut them all together.
Yeah. That's what they usually do. Huh?
You just did the one.
I just did the one.
Fucking hope.
But I knew going into it, I was like, no, this is going to be a real test. And I was like, push comes to shove, if it's a pile of shit, I can take clips out of it or something,
Yes,
you know?
you'll
But I was
get-
like, I want to get recorded doing stand-up so I can get used to it, so I can kind of learn off it a bit more. Like. So it was an experience.
When's it out?
I don't know.
Fucking tell us now.
I have no idea. He said to me, he was like, do you want to edit it or will I? And I was like, I wouldn't mind trying to edit, but if it was left up to me, it probably will never go out. So he's editing it, and I haven't heard tell of him now in a fortnight, so...
Fortnight's not too bad. Would you find yourself a bit of a perfectionist?
Yes. Unfortunately. There's a lot of unfinished projects.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Do you think that... What do you think stops you?
I think I just love me work. I like working at it.
Is it you do something and then you're like, that was good, but I could have done it better? And you struggle to maybe put it out? Or what's your...
Yeah, like if I don't think it's good, I'll not put it out.
Right.
But then there's been things that I've done, like the Bundorn video. I wasn't for putting that out.
Yeah.
Why? What made you do it?
I sent it to Colin Geddes,
And he...
and he was like, "Put that out, you fucking idiot."
Is there stuff that you have there that you've never...
Oh yeah, there's a hard drive at home full of stuff.
Can you send all that to Colin Geddes so we can get it?
No, but it's all like, there's no real. They're not really complete, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
there's
it's just wee bits.
clippings.
Right.
Like there's videos I worked on during the pandemic, and because of the pandemic, there's things up and down and things changing all the time. Some of it doesn't make sense.
Aye.
So one's just release it. I was like, but it makes no sense.
There was one you nearly released, or did you
right.
release?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Was you were like... there was videos of you in like Chinatown somewhere.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
It's in a hard drive.
Do you know why I was fucking waiting? I was looking forward to that day. It was about you going away for a while and coming back to fix everything.
Right,
or
yes.
something.
But I think it's a good thing, because like,
Everybody's still waiting for it.
well, you might see it.
That's it. That's it. You hire an editor.
You sit on it.
2036.
The day I die, it just goes up. That's it.
A wee Dropbox.
But yeah, I do try to work at the stuff and try and do it well. But you're never happy, like.
No, you're never happy. That's why you
Never-
should just release it.
Never happy.
Just fucking release it, lad.
I think I try to put myself through ultimate hardship, so I feel like I've done work.
Yeah.
Ones like influencers, or like the fact that they can sit on their toilet and do a video on
Yeah.
their phone. I'm like, I'd love to, how do they do that?
I don't know.
The amount of stuff I'd make on my phone and go, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
delete it. Like, so probably I too much of a perfectionist.
Wee bit. Charity boxing match.
Yes.
Fucking. I don't know who I was talking to about that. I thought it was class.
Yeah.
The production,
brilliant.
I thought was lethal. You see it?
I was watching other boxing that night or something. I think there was there was something else on. I'd actually seen,
That was a charity event.
I know. I'm
Fuck
sorry.
the charity.
I
Well,
seen.
if I knew that from the start, boy, I wouldn't be here.
Fuck
I think there's some UFC or something on that night as well.
Not even as good.
Jude, you see it?
I seen it.
I see Jude's seen it.
Do you know what I did see though? Is you and Mickey Bartlett in their podcast before, and I think that
right.
might have been the funniest episode
it was
of a
good crack.
podcast I've ever seen in my life. I like. Was that planned or how did that?
No, literally, Connor just said, maybe you want to dress up in your boxing outfit because Mickey's coming in, and about 15 minutes before, because they shoot in Fintona, my hometown.
Aye.
So literally about 15 minutes before I went in, I just went, have you any stuff for like an out wake or something to the Eildal? I just got a bag and I just started. Got any rosary beads or?
Straight you the fucking bun.
Yeah.
So good.
And then I went to the shop. Then I got the buns and the sandwiches and stuff.
I just started
no,
eating away. Oh my god.
There's no pre-planning at all. It was
That
just
was-
taking the piss.
That
But
was fucking class.
the boxing night was probably. It's probably one of the most fun nights I've ever had in my life.
Looked-
Like
it
it
looked
was.
amazing, like.
Even I went in. I was like, whenever I first walked into Ulster Hall, I was like, holy fuck! The production level
Yeah.
was brutal. Like.
Yeah.
I thought this was just a piss about and we're going to do this in Lock of Pallets or something. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was going to be a fully fledged.
Was it Shane Todd that organised all that?
Mickey was on
Was
about it
Mickey?
for years and years, but never came around to doing it. And then he must have mentioned to Shane, then Shane went, we'll do it this year. And that was...
I really enjoyed production value. It was lethal. Do you know what some of my favorite parts of it was? It was when I went down to the commentators box. You know, the pundits, and they were all talking about the fights and and putting things out, and then randomers were coming up behind them and they were talking to them. It was like a wee mini podcast at the sideline.
Yeah.
Fucking lethal. I thought it was a
I
fantastic.
remember the heat. That's all I remember is the heat.
So warm.
Fuck, it was bright because there was big bright
Big
lights
lights,
on the
alright.
ring, and then there's 1,000 people. I remember just getting in the ring and just sweat, just completely down my face. Like
That's
the
gotta be
heat.
scary.
It is like we've done gigs, like I've done shows for, like in front of thousands of people. That's like it's nothing like that because your body and your brain's on fire.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Did you train for it?
For about 3 weeks.
And what did you train though? I know
There was a gym down beside me.
was that weights?
I was like, have you got-
was that weights or did you actually fucking?
He kind of done a bit of, but he was like, here, lad, I don't know what you're doing here, but he says, I'll try so you'll not get fucking... Even he was like, because he was like, he used to do boxing, and he was like, I wouldn't take a fight unless I had at least 6 months training. I was like, you haven't fought in your life, and you're doing it 3 weeks now. But like, because I thought everyone was taking the real piss out of it.
But no, boys were
No, they
training.
were taking it. I wasn't taking it serious at all. But they were training for fucking months beforehand.
Did you think Mickey was training for much?
Well, Mickey was always training.
Yeah,
From the day and hour I met Mickey, he was always in the gym.
such a-
He's
and-
always skipping, like, isn't
Good
yeah,
skipper.
he's light in the feet, like. And I haven't set foot in the gym since it, or years before.
Actually, I tell a lie. My favorite moment of that was Kieran Bartlett's Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah,
Jesus
about this?
Christ,
Kieran's
that was fucking lethal.
insane, like.
That was class, just out of nowhere, like.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Oh, it was a fantastic night. Like it was. And then afterwards, me and Mickey had a bath together.
I heard that. I heard that.
And we sat up to must have been 6:30 in the morning drinking champagne.
Just chatting.
In a coil
shite.
bath while his girlfriend sat in the toilet just watching us. Every once in a while I'd dip me toe and be like, what's that? And Mickey's like, that's my balls. Alright.
You've got really close that night, then.
Yeah. So no, it was a lot of fun. They're doing it again now
Oh, brilliant!
in the summer.
That's class.
Yeah.
Are they doing a darts thing as well?
Yeah, I think that's Sean Haggerty's doing some darts thing in the limelight.
Oh,
He asked me to do it and I was like, I have no idea what darts are.
I've never
Not
like,
one notion.
fucking firing at the crowd.
I think Gaddis is doing it. I think Keys is doing it. I've seen the poster now, but I can barely mind. But they're doing all these shows and all.
Does it interest you much? These sorts of wee shows.
No.
Not really.
Show-wise, I only really want to be on stage for stand-up.
Stand-up?
I don't really... Even I done a live podcast there, and I was like, never again.
Was it your own live podcast?
Yeah.
Where'd you do that at?
Lavery's.
Lavery's. I think I seen a few clips from that.
It was my 100th episode.
Right.
I was like, for subscribers, I want to do something a wee bit
Different
special or
for them,
whatever.
aye.
But I was like, never again.
No. Was it just because there's the people there and you couldn't really relax? Or?
No, again, it's just like, well, you know, I don't think anyone's kind of worked out the right recipe for live podcast.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Maybe because I'm old school and I'm like...
Kill Tony.
But then Kill Tony...
That's not a podcast.
It's
though.
not, but
That's
it's
not a podcast.
similar where you're on a stage with 4 comedians. You know, I know it's not a podcast, but I mean, maybe like
that's
maybe
the
live
crossover.
podcast is so hard.
But
to
it's
get.
got to say, like, Kill Tony's not a podcast anymore. It's Jerry Springer.
Aye.
Yeah.
And like even this is a television production. This is a TV studio.
Yeah.
Like a podcast to me is in a rubber room with 3 mics.
Yeah.
You know, no cameras. And
Would you love to go back to that day?
Well, I kind of do. Like a lot of
just sound.
like any podcast I have up is pretty much just on Spotify. I don't do any clips.
No.
Do you ever
don't.
wish to go back just the all audio?
I like the coziness of the apartment and not having to. Not that I think about the cameras, really, but at the same time.
You're looking well tonight.
Thanks, lad. But I think I've scratched my balls a couple of times in this episode, and it's going to be picked up. Like,
and I'm nearly hoovering all the fucking biscuits.
you know, they'll notice you've took 2 now, haven't you?
But would you go back to the audio tomorrow if you could?
No, I think.
And come here, people think, oh, you can't do a podcast now without video. There's loads of successful podcasts with no audio. Blind Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you call that? My therapist ghosted me.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah,
what,
you're right,
what I
you're
was
right.
going to say was I miss just the all audio.
Yeah,
I
like,
actually miss it.
there was a while there I said to my subscribers, I was like, I will video as much as I can if I have a guest or something maybe, but if I'm doing audio only, don't be surprised.
I miss the audio as well. We're probably not going to take a step back. Into
I don't know.
But I don't know. I just
There probably is something missing from that. You know, maybe you're a bit more relaxed or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you're more of a bad bastard with the audio. I think I found anyway. You say a bit more creative. Like if you went back to our first 5 episodes, fucking hell, nobody do that. But we could go to jail.
Well, that's what they pay the big bucks for.
There's jail. Like,
That's why mine's behind a paywall.
Exactly.
potential jail. Like we might have to put that behind the fuck. We might just have to delete them.
There's actually guys that came up on my For You page a while ago, started a podcast. They must be from Belfast, must be students or something. And the 5 of them just wear balaclavas because they're afraid of. They're afraid of what they're going to say.
Nutters. I think they're real posh guys. Like real.
I don't remember seeing a clip, but I was like, what the fuck? Because they look like your guy used to do the phone jacker.
Oh yes,
I was like, what the fuck?
Do you know why? It's so they can talk about whatever they want. Supposedly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you know
But what do they talk about though?
Well, the fucking one topic I seen them talk about was them taking erections when they were like 12 or something, and talking about. And I was like,
I mean, the people want to know.
no, but I was like, fair enough, lads. You know, you can talk about whatever you want, but I don't personally want to know that. You know, I don't want to know that. In a sense, about their erections at 12.
At 12?
I think it's weird as fuck. Like,
You'd be surprised.
no, just to have.
There's a
I
market-
took
just to
mine
have it
about
live.
13 minutes. Now we're getting into the real
Now we're
origin
getting
story
into-
now. That's first
Mark,
memory. That's
take us back to your first wank.
Change
Mark.
it. Change it. Aye. Change
first
your
stroke.
questions.
Your first stroke.
Oh, there was a lot of blood. I had to figure it out myself too.
But I
Being an only child.
Yeah. There was a lot of baiting it up against a gavel to try and see.
there was no YouTube to teach you
No,
anything back
nothing.
then.
Everything was
sake.
Next catalogues in my day.
Underwear catalogs.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Very good. Hobbies
Oh,
outside of comedy. Not many people ask people that, but you're a comedian. But what's your downtime?
I'd watch a lot of movies now. Mm-hmm. I'd watch a lot of films.
What's the
Is
last?
this-
what's
this-
the last great one you've seen? Sorry.
Iron Claw,
Wasn't it great?
What do you think of it?
brilliant.
I'm
It
still
was
to watch that.
fantastic.
And I'm not a massive wrestling fan, but
Donnie,
I
me-
went with Aaron McCann, who's a massive
Oh,
wrestling
yes,
guy,
yes.
and he knew the whole story. I had no idea
Do you know
about
they
it.
cut out one of the brothers?
Yeah, I read that afterwards.
They
That's
also
my
saw
hobby.
it?
I'd watch a film, then go IMDb.
I have to
Oh,
find
yeah.
out.
I actually read. He said they had a version with the brother in, and the producer was like, "This is too sad."
Too sad, aye. There's too much
He says, if you put that bit in,
Well,
he says,
don't ruin it for me, like.
it's too much.
Come on.
I know the story to be fair. But I'm looking forward to watching that. It looks class.
Yeah, no, it's very. He went back again last week to watch it again because he was like,
Lethal.
I thought it was a brilliant film.
Yeah,
Brilliant film.
it's the last.
Do you watch many new films?
I said nude.
Blue movies? No, do you watch many new? Like, do you, when something comes out in cinema, you're like, I'm going to go see that in the cinema? Or do you like your own home content?
I know, it's a big theatre guy now.
You would,
I do like the cinema.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see it go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on. Just the cinema's like there's a big like it's not IMAX, but it's nearly close as an Omagh.
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't care how many LCD TVs you have at home, you'll not be at this like.
No. Would you watch? I remember back in the day, I used to watch all the, like the award-winning ones.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, I've just kind of stopped. I don't know why.
No,
Would
I'll
you do
watch
that,
anything that's like kind of popular or it's on. People are
Yeah.
You would?
talking about. Yeah. Even if I go,
I don't know why I took you for a guy that wouldn't.
No, even if I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this, I'd still watch it.
Like
no.
the new Emma Stone one. What's it called? The one.
Poor Things.
Poor Thing. Have you seen it?
Not yet. No, but it's on my list now to
I
watch.
wouldn't mind watching that.
I'm complete opposite.
Yeah, I'd watch
I
anything.
don't know what it is. I just can't. Whenever something's popular, I'm like, I'm not giving in to these people.
Well, I'll tell you what's great without the smartphone is you
You're not.
you're not persuaded.
tortured. You're not tortured.
Like if you
that's
see
fair.
a film now and first day out you're like 2 stars, you're like, oh well, fuck that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Whereas if you go in with an open mind and go, oh, I love that.
I see. Show the viewers your smartphone, not to show your technology off.
Jeez, I don't know if they're ready.
What is it?
Anybody's minds don't blow here. Look at that. Flip it up.
Holy Jesus!
Do you know who you remind me of? Tom Cruise.
Jason Statham.
Tom Cruise in what do you call Cocktail? Do you ever see Cocktail?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Every day I go home and just bracket in 2 bits. Throw it in the bin. Next morning, get up.
Fuck, you're making some cash, man, if you're doing that. Like,
Hey,
Just
you have to get rid of it some way.
literal burner phones. Like,
So what can that do? That is Snake, obviously.
Oh, yes. That's the only reason why I bought it.
Snake 5.
Snake's not what it used to be now.
Is it not?
Oh, it's too fluid now. Years ago it was like it'd take a sharp turn.
And you have more seconds.
Now it's like just going around in a slow
fuck
roundabout
that.
thing, and you're just sitting going, "Fuck." No, I don't like the new Snake at all. It's raging. This thing's a beast. It has WhatsApp,
Does it?
and the hotspot on it is insane.
Really?
So if you ever need any Wi-Fi, boys, you know where to ring.
And you can. I think
definitely-
it does the internet.
It has but it's so bad.
Yeah.
You just can't even look
But
at
that's
it.
why I love it.
What way does it show up? Like websites? Does it show them up?
I
Really?
haven't even got that far in it. I don't
Not
even
even
use
attempted.
it. WhatsApp's the only app now I'd say I can't be done without.
You need it.
Unfortunately, I wish I'd need to start going back to just text.
See, if the police pulled you over, they'd think you're a murderer, like, or
Sure, they get that anyway. So
or a drug dealer. Like,
past remarks, driving about in a white van on my own.
sir, put your ID out your phone, and then as soon as you see the flip phone, this guy's got a flip phone. Can we get
Oh, I
an
do.
ID in this guy?
There does be times where the phone will go off in the shop. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Polyphonic.
Hello? It does get looks right enough, but no, it's a simple life, boys. That's all I'm after.
That's class. Doesn't Tony Hinchcliffe have a flip phone?
I think he does.
I've tried so much to like you're addicted to the phone, like.
So much.
And I've done so many things to try and get myself, because the worst thing is when you go on, you can see how many hours you're on it.
Aye.
It pisses me off to go,
Yeah.
I was on this fucking thing
Waste.
8 hours today, like.
Yeah.
And it got like, I remember I deleted my Instagram for a month. I unfollowed everybody, so I thought if I seen nothing, I wouldn't be on. Instagram's the worst for me.
Yeah.
Like I would sit in it for ages.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could get to was like, if I don't have the phone, I can't.
There's a
Yeah,
couple of times
that's
today
fair.
I went on Instagram to like, for work purposes, like to get to someone's profile to see something,
Yeah.
and it just took me on a journey.
Yeah. It's a disaster.
Like a 2-second job I had to do.
But
half an hour.
I have to say, see, since getting rid of the phone, I even sleep better now.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Because you're not
it.
looking at it before, you're not looking at it in the morning.
Yeah, well, even when you toss in your bed once, you go,
You'll go
I'll
to your
check the phone.
Aye.
And then
Aye.
you're like, oh, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, no, it's I
can
do have
imagine.
an iPhone, but it sits in my bag. So,
That's deadly. I want to do it.
I was going to mention there, what's next for Mark McCarney? No, not even that. Aspirational wise, you see comedians in Northern Ireland and abroad hitting arena tours. Is that something that you like the thought of? A bigger crowd?
No. In fact, I hope to go on my first tour next year. Mm-hmm. It's being planned at the minute, and I've said I want more dates and smaller venues.
Yeah.
No, the arenas aren't.
You strike me as someone who would rather a smaller venue.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, like stand-up was never made to be in an arena. Like it was made for bunkers and basements and attics. It's not like whenever you do an arena, it is fun, but it's just like doing a play.
Yeah.
You know, you just say your stuff and you can literally hear your own echo.
Oh, is there a delay in that?
There is a delay, aye. I opened for Colin in the SSE there, and weirdly, I wasn't nervous one bit because it just seems so
surreal.
Not surreal, but you're just
disconnected.
Maybe? Aye, you're like because you're just looking into darkness.
Yeah,
and then does the laugh take a wee minute to filter back?
Yeah, and
what if it never comes?
You just sitting there like this.
That was one thing he did say. He says take a wee break. Like in a comedy club, it's instant.
Break.
He says take after every sentence. He says pause for a second because it's going to take a while to get to the back. But it wouldn't. I get it. Like the SSE, it is exciting and it was a lot of fun. I get why they do it.
Yeah.
But for me, stand-ups in the small clubs, and so that's what I want to do next year. Is go less.
Would you say you'd move on to maybe a sketch show or a TV show? Is there any aspirations to take the comedy to the small screen? You know, with all you obviously mentioned your background, you love TV, you like the likes of filming. I
think doing TV would be going backwards.
Yeah. Not even TV, but you know, you've made it. You obviously did the YouTube sketches. Would you ever think about doing an actual series on YouTube or online?
Yeah, well, unfortunately it's just because I'm still I'm not at this while overly long. It does feel like 40 years, but I've only been at it like 4 or 5. So I'm still figuring out what's the best way to go about it. Yeah. I was raging last year. I did want to do more videos, just didn't get them done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to get into a better schedule of uploading.
Yeah.
Like I have a pile of ideas, but ideas are cheap and worthless. It's the execution in them. Like.
Have you watched Shane Gillis's sketch show?
Yes.
Gillian Keys.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Highly rated.
Oh man.
I love showing people their videos. I don't know why.
He's doing a Netflix series now.
I've seen that.
Tires or something.
After Tires. Did you see the pilot for it? They did a pilot.
On YouTube. But I mean, it's funny now because like what we're doing is the exact same thing. Like Netflix works in this model now where, you make it and we'll just buy it off you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Only we just make it and put it up on our Patreons or put it up on our.
Yeah.
I knew you're getting.
Yeah. So the stand-up's the same. They've done a new deal where they're like, stand-ups, if you make your own special, it may cost 50 grand or whatever. And they go, we'll take it, we'll buy it for whatever, and then we'll give it back to you after 5 years.
Fuck.
Can they do Chappelled?
Do anything with the clips or anything I got there? Or is that
they probably use clips for promoting, and that's about it. Like, but it's yours. So you could turn around and after Netflix gives it back to you and go to Hulu,
another company,
and they'll go, we'll buy it off you for another.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I didn't know that.
A lot of stand-ups are doing that now.
That's good.
That's why you find so many like unknown stand-ups on Netflix now, because they're like with a bit of a following online.
Yeah. There's like a section. There's a section of stand-up, and then there's about 4 subsections of that as well. Like, so there's a lot. Yes,
they're not losing anything. They're not putting up any money for it whatsoever.
What's your man, the good-looking comedian that did a special?
Matt Rife?
Yeah, that's the one.
He's very quick. I don't know.
He's stunning.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's too good-looking for stand-up. That's one thing.
Must be.
I like my stand-ups fat and ugly. Anything else I don't want to know at all.
Did you watch it or?
No, I've never actually seen. I actually have started. I can't even watch stand-up anymore.
Really?
I can't. I just die.
Are you too sort of entranced in stand-up scene that you just can't watch any?
Well, there is a part of me, the fear of that getting a bit in the back of your head and thinking 6 months later you come up with it.
Okay. Yeah.
There is a bit of that, but also just like it's like everything else. If you're working in a poultry factory all day, the last thing you want to go home is eat chicken.
Yeah. Is there much of that happening, you know, or does it ever happen with bits stole or indirectly stole, or is there any ever that happen?
It does be an odd time, but it's never like it's never a
malicious sort of thing.
It's never. I never had any problem with anyone. Sometimes you'd hear someone, you do a bit, and you'd say, "Oh, that's a wee bit like such and a one's." And they'd stop, that's fine. It's when they keep doing it's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like anyone can make a mistake and anyone can get a bit in their head and think that, you know, but it's when when you're told and you keep doing it, that's...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But no, it's usually like 9 times out of 10, it's usually a mistake because no stand-up worth their salt wants to be accused of stealing material. So no, it's usually... it can happen, like.
Yeah, I remember I showed you the Norm MacDonald clip earlier. He actually didn't steal the joke, but he took the premise of it and changed it.
Yeah.
So there was a joke before that, maybe like 10, 20 years before. Like he used to go back to real old school jokes.
Yeah,
like that one was so old. Like that was your granddad telling that joke.
Yeah. Sure. Remember the moth joke?
Yes.
Colin Quinn, another stand-up, told him that.
Yeah.
Really?
But he was in a corner because I remember seeing he was supposed to do one segment in Conan, and some guy dropped out. So he says, "Can you stay for another segment?" It was like 7-minute segment. And Norm was like, "What am I going to do here?" So the day before, he had a coffee with Colin Quinn and he told him that moth joke. But it was literally a 30-second setup and punchline. But he made it into 7 minutes.
But you can see how he rambles on in them.
So they're saying like the hilarity wasn't even the joke itself. It was the rambling in between.
How long it took to get
that he got there. That then the punchline was actually pure shit.
Did you ever watch Norm Macdonald's show?
The
show
Netflix?
It was on YouTube was it on YouTube for years?
It was on YouTube first,
he had his
and then
own,
it went on Netflix.
Him and Adam Egget.
Yeah.
And he used to bring people on.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably one of my favorite series of all time. I have to say that.
Him
for
and
me.
the first, I think it was the first episode with him, Super Dave.
Super Dave,
probably the best episode
amazing
of the podcast.
Amazing.
Ever.
Who's writing these?
And then Super Dave just pretending to be disgusted at everything.
Who's let you on TV? And Adam Egget, he was class too. Like
he deserves his flowers too. He was so good at being that fall guy.
Aye. He was so well. They worked so well together.
Yeah.
But
they knew each other for years, you see.
Yeah.
They've been friends for a long time, so that's why.
I think it's one of my favourite segments on any show was when he handed over jokes to the guests, and the guests had to read it out, and then he's like who's writing these? He goes, I don't know, the writers or something.
Him wrote every one.
He wrote every single one, and they're absolutely horrendous. Yeah. And he got away with just being, it's the writers.
I used to look at them and they go, like he didn't just write it himself about half an hour ago.
What about your writing style? What's your? I know you always go. Where do you get your ideas from? Like Super Dave, where do you get your ideas from? Yeah. What is your actual background? Like, what's your process?
Oh, there isn't one, man. I wish there was one.
Where do they come to? You? Is it out for a walk in the countryside? Is it in the barn tinkering, or
do you just sit down and write?
It's a mixture of all of above. You know, sometimes I'll find a full bit will just come into my head one day, and I'll never have to do any work to it. And then other ones, you're like, oh fuck, I have a gig tomorrow. I need to write something new here.
Right.
So it's kind of a mixture of all that. And there's like, there's people that would, paper or laptop. I'll just, whatever I can get my hands on.
Give me your hand.
Sometimes I do feel that I'll get it out quicker if I type it out.
Yeah.
But then I'll go, fuck that, and I'll maybe print it, and then I'll start writing on it.
Yeah.
Or just bits like that there. But then there's a lot of stuff too. I think as I've got, like at the very start, I used to write like every comma, space,
making sure
take
the
a pause
there.
here. But then as you get more used to stand up, you think of a bit half an hour beforehand. You go, I'm gonna try that tonight. You get a bit cocky with it. No.
Right. Do you enjoy the crowd work?
No.
Not like it?
No.
Is that
I'm not a like.
You're not Matt
MC guy, and I'm kind of like I don't want to be an MC guy, so I think I purposely try and trash it every time.
Would you just sort of not even MC, but see when you're just on stage, will you just come on, say your part, and leave, or do you ever ask and chat and discuss things?
Crowd work's isn't genius stuff. Like,
Aye.
like I've maybe seen 2 or 3 pieces of crowd work and went, that's genius.
Yeah.
Most of it's just like, where are you from? Oh, shithole.
Yeah.
It's never.
But I mean, do you do that yourself? Do you enjoy that?
I like sometimes it'll be a bit if you want to shut somebody up or something, maybe.
exactly.
But like I never, because I was like, any time I went to see a comedy show before I started stand up, was like, no, I want to see this guy's act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you talking to the front row.
Yeah.
So I never had much faith in crowd work.
What about hecklers? Do you ever get a heckler?
Funny enough, I'm probably going to curse myself by saying this. I don't get too many heckles. I think because, you know, I get on with this big thick accent, so it takes them like 5 minutes to go, what the fuck? Where did this fucking beast come out of here?
You're ready on to your next bit.
Yeah. So it takes them a wee while. Confusion helps me an awful lot. And it's never been anything. It's never hecklers. It's never smart.
Yeah.
Like I think the worst heckle I ever got one time was in Lavery's when I think I said where it's from, and someone in the back just went moo. And then I was like, where are you from? And they're like, from Anna. And I was like, oh, well, for fuck's sake. You're shitting on both of us here. So it's never anything. There was one doll in Lavery's right enough, but she just wouldn't shut up. She just
being a loud
Just
bitch.
drunk.
she was just drunk. You know, there was no harm in her. She was just drunk and loud. And but there's never any like malice in it.
There's nothing worse though whenever you're there to watch and them fucking.
That is it. You're annoying everyone else. Like,
I remember I went to Billy Connolly gig, SSC actually in Belfast, and me and Kleiner were sitting there. Love Billy Connolly. I would if he was, you know, I would go if he's playing close by, and he was out on stage, and obviously he's suffering from
Parkinson's.
He's in Parkinson's at the moment, and he's a bit slow when he's moving around, and he was sitting for most of the gig, but he was still a fucking amazing storyteller, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was listening, and there was this couple behind me. I swear to fuck, I wanted to punch the face of them. Like, they were round, they were like round each other, and then this girl got up, and then whenever people were like shouting stuff, or like, yeah, Billy, you know, and then Billy said something, and everybody said, she wasn't even listening. But she was just going, yeah, Billy, yeah. Like she was like finishing off her fight with her husband or partner, like in the middle of it. So they were like, and then she'd hear a wee roar, she'd go, yeah, Billy. And I was like, would you shut the fuck up?
That's the problem with big venues as well. They're so far away from the action, they think they can.
Yeah, they get away with it.
Once you go over 1,000 people, it's tough to handle them. Like it's. You can't handle them, there's too many of them.
And then there was a load of gigs. Like I went to see actually Louis C.K. in the Limelight.
Yeah.
And he took everyone's phones and everything.
Yeah.
But I've been to so many gigs. Tommy Tiernan did the same.
I fully support.
You're bound to
Don,
agree with that. Like, yeah.
I remember doing gigs where in like bar gigs where they just take the pint glass and they move it and just put their phone up again it and record your entire thing.
Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people do that? It wrecks my nut whenever
They wouldn't even look at you. They sit and look at the phone.
Aye, to make sure it's still going.
And they'd watch the whole.
What's the sound quality? Like, what's the point?
So I done a gig once. Where the fuck was it?
It really annoys me when people.
And somebody sent my full set to me on Snapchat.
Went here,
It was just the bits, you know. It was just like. I was like, what? You just wasted your money there. Just be taking. No, Snapchat's only like 15 seconds. So 15 seconds. What a wanker. Send. 15 seconds. Oh, fuck this. No, this was on the whole night. Like, so I do think phones should be got rid of. And
I agree with you. I don't think anybody that's doing that should be at a gig. Anybody that's filming during any sort of gig at all, I think sit there, fucking enjoy it.
Especially
just enjoy the moment, because you're paying for them moments. You're paying for that fucking gig.
Especially when where the premises you have to sit and listen.
Aye.
It's the same as the cinema. It's actually,
yeah.
Just
but
at an Adele concert, like you crying just filming her, like it's depressing enough there when you're there.
But with music, it kind of get it a bit more, because you can sit with your head down and you can still hear it or whatever.
But at the same time, what's the sound quality going to be like? I never got why some people, you would maybe do one shot so you can go, oh, I was at this gig, look at me, I'm so cool.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you're not recording the whole thing, because like you're going to listen back to it and it's going to be
But
It's
also,
gonna be fucking music.
but also, you're like, oh, this is Jessica's favorite song. I'm going to record it for. Why? Why do this?
Are we coming across very better here at the minute?
Sounds like I have some sort of experience in this. But why the fuck do you do it? Anyway, no, that's okay. I fucking got myself. I got myself.
John? You alright?
You've been told now.
Fucking dumb. Put your phones away. Jessica doesn't give a fuck.
That's it sorted now, thankfully.
We've done it. We've solved it.
Jessica doesn't give a fuck. No. Anyway, Mark, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah.
Is that it, boys?
No, not yet. How long? We're not finished yet. What would you say to anybody that met you? You know, what do you hope someone to get from one of your gigs? You know, leaving feeling what?
Nothing.
Just nothing.
I'd like them to go home going,
Emptiness.
what the fuck was that there?
Nor MacDonald shaking their hands at the end.
Yeah, like I'm not one of these guys. Like I hope to learn something the other night. I'm just kind of like, if you get out of the house for a couple of hours and you could switch off for a while and enjoyed it, that's all you really can hope for, I suppose.
Very good, fantastic. Fergal, will we do local deaths?
Now we're talking.
Local deaths. Do we have time?
No,
there's no time. We're running out of time. He has to get back to Fintona.
Local, use your work at my gig then.
We have to go. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately,
those local deaths, they'll roll on to the next episode, and we'll get them sorted.
If you're in a rush to awake, you're not going to get it.
Fuck, we haven't done that. No way.
But yes, we'll do the local deaths next week, guys, and we'll get back to you. Thank you to all our 2,000 plus listeners and viewers. Now we're on video a month, which is fantastic, and on socials. You're all legends. And thank you for taking the time to watch, and hope you all enjoy Mark's episode. We had a fantastic time with you, Mark.
Thank you,
hope you
boys.
enjoyed yourself.
Very
you need a plug?
No, not really. If you need any graphic design stuff, give me a shout.
This guy here.
I don't really. I'm very busy, so.
No, don't contact him.
Maybe the next month or so I'll be able to work.
When this is out, wait 3 weeks.
Pretty much, actually.
Mark, have you any gigs or anything coming up?
If you want to take a drive to Canada, you can come to Canada, you want?
Are you filming it? Is it going online or anything? No,
I think we're just going over for the crack and doing the gigs taking a lot of pints. And
do you think that'll be? Have you done abroad any comedy stuff abroad?
I'm very excited to find out, but I'm I have a feeling they're going to be like, what the fuck is he saying?
How do you find that's going to translate? I'm not saying you're bound to get people going, your jokes won't work in Canada. You obviously you don't believe that, but you're going to get people thinking that way.
No, you're right. I do think that.
But how do you combat that?
Well, I'm just excited with the challenge of it. But then you have to remember too, it's going to be a lot of expats. It's going to be a lot of ones from home.
Well, you expect.
But I always Are we out of time?
No,
I was only joking.
I was only joking. The yard was about to go on fire there.
Local deaths coming up. Yeah.
I thought that from day one. I remember going, how are these people in Belfast going to understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Belfast, one of my favourite places to gig. Went to London. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be horrendous. Probably one of my most favourite gigs last year was in Leicester Square, London.
Wow.
So you kind of have to just try them and see how you get on. If you die, you die. That's all you can do.
Local deaths. Well, now we have no time for them, for fuck's sake. Now we have no time.
Toronto.
Now we have no time.
John, do you have anything to plug?
No deaths. No. Plug? No, I have nothing at the moment. I do actually art commissions for anybody at home. Been doing it for the last 3 years. I actually commission Irish folk songs into visualization art.
Jesus.
So basically, it's madness. I don't know why I do it, but enjoy it. So songs are in my head, and then I contact an artist that I use, or types of artists, or realism, wherever it is, and they create the art for me, and then that's my interpretation of that song. And at the moment, I'm doing Irish folk songs, and they're selling in Shop and Carn. I'll do a wee link after this, and we'll do a wee link to Mark. Do a wee link to Fergal.
Oh, yeah, graphic design.
Judd will get you a wee link as well. Don't know what for, but we get you a fucking link. And I'm starting to sell the art, and it's starting to go really well. And we're actually going to get a big bit of art up here at some stage, and you'll be able to see it. Idea. And pubs and stuff, we're going to start taking them in and selling them, and other wee Irish communities, wee areas. And
Very cool.
And I hope you all enjoy it. I'll do a wee link and you can see it. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, boys.
Really
Pleasure.
appreciate you coming on. I hope you had enjoyed yourself.
Did, yeah.
And tell your friends, spread the word.
Will do.
Thank you very much, everybody. Jude, you have a good time?
Unreal.
Fergal, good time?
Oh, great.
Mark, good time?
He's got the pint of milk ready there.
Let's cue the board on.
You.
Fantastic. Roasted.
I am very warm. Dying for a pash.
That was very fun, boys.